Hi, I'm Jen, and you're listening to the Shadow Sanctuary, where I dig into the history of haunted locations to try and find a correlation between historical fact and paranormal experience. Is there a reason for the haunting? Why does energy stay? Keep listening to find out more. Welcome to the Shadow Sanctuary. I'm your host, Jen, and here we are at the end of April, another month gone. Tonight, I'm going to be telling you about the Spanish military hospital in St. Augustine, Florida. So, let's get into it. Founded in 1565, St. Augustine is the oldest continuously occupied settlement of European and African American origin in the United States. 42 years before the colonization of Jamestown and 55 years before the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth, the Spanish established at St. Augustine the nation's first enduring settlement. Juan Ponce de Leon, the first governor of the island of Puerto Rico, discovered Florida in 1513. He claimed it for the Spanish crown and named it Florida after the Spanish Easter season. In the following half century, the government of Spain launched no less than 6 expeditions attempting to settle Florida. In 1564, French Huguenots succeeded in establishing a fort and colony at what is today Jacksonville. This posed a threat to the Spanish fleets that sailed the Gulf Stream carrying treasure from Central and South America to Spain. King Philip II instructed Don Pedro Menendez de Alvarez, Spain's most capable admiral, to remove the French menace to Spain's interests. On September 8th, 1565, 600 voyageurs and Menendez set foot on the shores of Florida. In honor of the saint whose feast day fell on the day he first sighted land, Menendez named the colonial settlement St. Augustine. Maintaining St. Augustine as a permanent military colony, however, was quite a task. Without the courage, perseverance, and tenacity of the early settlers, it is doubtful that the community would have survived. English pirates pillaged and burned down the town on several occasions in the next century. Clashes between the Spaniards and the British became more frequent when the English colonies were established in the Carolinas and later in Georgia. As a consequence, the Spanish moved to strengthen their defenses. Beginning in 1672, construction of a permanent stone fortress, the Castillo de San Marcos, was brought to completion late in the century, just in time to meet an attack by British forces in 1702. In 1740, an even stronger attack on St. Augustine was mounted by the governor of the British colony of Georgia. The Treaty of Paris in 1763, ending the French and Indian War, gave Florida and St. Augustine to the British. A second Treaty of Paris in 1783 returned Florida to Spain. The Adams-Honest Treaty concluded in 1821, peacefully turning over Spanish colonies like St. Augustine to the United States. For the next 24 years, East Florida and St. Augustine remained a territorial possession of the United States, and in 1845, Florida actually became a state. In 1791, the Spanish government purchased the building that would become the Spanish Military Hospital for St. Augustine's military personnel. The building was reconstructed by the St. Augustine Historical Society and Preservation Commission in the 1960s. The Spanish Military Hospital is now a museum that gives visitors a chance to learn about medical practices and procedures in the colonial Spanish period of St. Augustine. It is said that the hospital is built upon a Timucan burial ground. In 1821, when the city replaced water lines under the hospital, workers unearthed thousands of human bones. Many visitors and staff have reported feeling a heavy, sad presence. Some people have claimed to hear moans, screams, and distant conversations. People have reported seeing misty figures in hospital gowns or the outline of a body on the beds. Other reports include doors slamming, cold spots, and even a garden tool leaping out of a corner. The morning ward, where patients receive their last rites, is said to be particularly haunted. The Spanish Military Hospital Museum is located at 3 Avila Street, St. Augustine, Florida. They are open Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you pay them a visit, let them know that the Shadow Sanctuary podcast sent you. Hey, before you take off, I believe in supporting my friends and other content creators. That's why, if you don't know how to bake or just really suck at it, I'm sending you to Bakes by Vasco on YouTube. From Betty Rockstar to Betty Crocker, go check out Bakes by Vasco. You can find the link on our page, the Shadow Sanctuary, on Facebook. Join me next month in May, where I tell you about more haunted locations in Nevada, Kansas, North Carolina, Ohio, and New York. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to check us out on Facebook for more information on upcoming episodes. As always, don't let the eerie vibes fade too quickly. Stay haunted, my friends.